Well, what the German court has looked at here is whether the Spanish charges of rebellion would be admissible in a German court. And in the end, they decided that they would not be admissible in a German court. And that is because the threat of violence was not deemed high enough in this case to apply for the German offense of high treason. So now, after Carlos Puigdemont posts bail, he will be able to leave the jail in Neumünster. He will just have to check in with the authorities once a week. Were he to ask to leave the country, he would have to get special permission for that. But now they'll look at those lesser charges, the misuse of public funds. However, certainly a victory for Carlos Puigdemont. We know for certain that he will not face the 25 years in prison that he was perhaps looking at were he tried in the Spanish court under that rebellion charge.
Okay, so does this mean that we are likely now to see Puigdemont be extradited to Spain on corruption charges then?
Well, that's certainly a distinct possibility. The court has 60 days from the time where he was detained last week to make that decision. Now, something similar already happened in Belgium, and the Spanish authorities actually ended up withdrawing the European arrest warrant because they really weren't interested in those lesser charges of corruption or misuse of public funds. So we'll see what happens here. Perhaps Spain simply trying to make Mr. Puigdemont's life difficult. However, we don't know if they'll actually continue with trying to charge him on those corruption. And we also don't know whether the German court will extradite him, although it does seem somewhat likely that they would if it gets to that point.
Remind us of why there was sort of questions over the nature of the charges. There seems to be a lot to do here with semantics.
Right. Well, what Spain deemed rebellion, Germany did not deem to rise to that level. Now, what Spain is accusing Mr. Puigdemont is by leading this insurrection as they see it, by holding this referendum, they say that is rebellion. But Germany does not see that as a threat of violence, which would rise to the level of undermining the Constitution. So I think that's the difference between the Spanish and German courts' interpretation of this so far. And we already have heard from a Spanish government spokesperson, and she said that she respects the German court's decision, although I think she also said whether they're happy with it or not, but they will not have any issue with the decision taken by the German court.
All right, Ira, thanks so much. That was Ira Spitzer for us in Berlin.